everybody and welcome to this video on factorizing. In this video, we're having a look at how to factorize a trinomial. So a trinomial is a polynomial with three terms, one with something in the second degree, one with it in 1 degree, and then there's a constant term. So the tri in trinomial comes from the fact that there are three terms. So what we're going to do is have a look at how to factorize this. Now, the first one that we're going to do is when the coefficient of x squared is 1. So please note that only use this method when the coefficient of x squared is 1. In the next video, we'll have a look at another method when the coefficient is not 1. So the first step that you're going to do is you're going to draw two brackets because we will factorize it and it will be the product of two brackets. And then what you're going to do is that first term, whatever it is, you're going to put the square root of it in each bracket. So x and x. So that comes from the first term. Okay. Then the next step is looking at the last term. You are going to put the factors. Now this method is a trial and error method, which means sometimes you get it right and sometimes you get it wrong, depending on the factors. So you just do a little calculation on the side. So the factors of 2 and 1, it's a prime number. So it's 2 and 1, those are the only factors. And then you ask yourself, how do I get the middle coefficient with this? And we're looking for positive 3. So how do we get positive 3? By saying positive 2 and positive 1. So then that positive 2 and that positive 1 go in the bracket. Okay. So that's how we factorize it. And if you FOIL this out or distribute, double distribute, you'll get back to the original term and that you can check. One thing you should do is also do a quick check to check that your factors are fine. So the middle terms you now know add up to 3x, but now the last term 2, you want to know that when you multiply the two last terms, so 2 and 1, you get the same term. So positive 2 times positive 1 is 2. So then this is the correct factors. So let us have a look at example. Please pause the video and attempt it by yourself first before going through the solution with us. So we're starting with the first one, x squared minus 4x plus 3. So our first step is to put two brackets. Okay, and here x is the term, so we're going to put an x in each bracket. And now, in this case here, we're looking for the factors of 3. Once again, 3 is a prime number, so there's only one option. And we have to think about how do we get negative 4 when we add or subtract, and that would be negative 1, negative 3 would give us negative 4. So then we know over here we have a negative 3, and here we have a negative 1. The last thing that we're going to do is just check that negative 3 times negative 1 is positive 3. So that's fine. Let us have a look at the second one. We have x squared minus x plus 6. So now we're looking for the factors of 6. So let's start with our first step. We draw our two brackets and we're going to put an x in each one. Okay, now we're looking for the factors of 6. Now 6 is not a prime number like the other ones that we've done. It's a composite number, so it has more than one set of factors. So the factors of 6 are 1 and 6, and the other one is 2 and 3. Both of those, when you multiply them, they give you 6. So we would want a minus 1, minus 1. Yeah, so there's no possible way that 6 and 1 can give us minus 1. So those factors aren't right. So then we can have a look at minus 1. Positive 2 minus 3 would give us minus 1. So this would be positive 2 and minus 3. So then having a look at our check, we have here that positive 2 times minus 3 is not positive 6. So here on our check, it does not meet that because a positive times a negative is not a positive. So this here has no factors because we've tried it and there is no factors. So this cannot be factorized further. So we'll leave it as x squared minus x plus 6. What is important is that you realize that first of all, it's a trial and error method. So sometimes you have to try more than one factor. And then also to do that check, because without that check, you might write down the wrong factors. So let us move on to the next one. So we have x squared plus 2x minus 15. So again, we start with two brackets and we put an x in each one. And then we're looking for the factors of 15. So our factors of 15 are 1 times 15, 3 times 5, and I think those are the only factors. So now we would like a positive 2x. So 15 and 1, there's no way we're going to get close to 2. And then a positive 2 over here would be positive 5 minus 3. So the factors are minus 3 and positive 5. The last thing we have to do is the check, because remember, these factors have to be correct. So negative 3 times a positive 5 does give us a negative 15. So that is fine. Let us do the next one. So we have x squared minus x minus 12. So here we have our factors. Again, we're looking for 12. So the factors for 12, let's first do our two brackets. Put an x in each one. And we're looking for factors of 12. So we're always looking for the factors of the last term. So the factors of 12 are 1 and 12, 2 and 6, and 3 and 4. So we would like a minus 1. So there's no way 12 and 1 are going to give us minus 1. The numbers are too far apart. 2 and 6 cannot give us minus 1. But here, 3 and 4 can give us minus 1 if we have minus 4 and a positive 3. So there our factors are plus 3 and minus 4. What we need to do is do our check. So positive 3 times negative 4 gives us our negative 12. So that one there is correct. Let us do the next one. We have x squared plus 8xy plus 7y squared. So again, we're going to start with two brackets and we're going to put an x in each one. Now in this case, we're looking for the factors of 7y squared. So the factors of 7y squared, it's y times 7y. It's also a prime number, so there's no other factors. So we're looking for an 8. So we have plus and plus will give us 8. So that means this has to be a plus y and a plus 7y. And then the last thing we do is our check. Y times 7y is positive 7y squared, so it's correct. I hope that you have understood this, but we'll go over the steps one more time. Remember, the first thing is to put out two brackets. Then you want to put an x or whatever the first term is. You want to have the product of that in each of the brackets. And then finally, we look for the factors of the last term. And then we look for how do we add or subtract those to get the middle term and add it. The last step, which is very, very important, is to do a check that your factors are indeed correct. If you have understood this video, please watch our next one on trinomials.